We are now well into our Triduum journey, a 3-day trek designed with guideposts by which we find our way day by day. It is an arduous journey, not for the faint of heart, but in the Church's long-toothed wisdom, it is meant to be one liturgical trek across 3 days. No one day's service makes sense except within the context of the other two. Last night's Maundy Thursday, offering deep memories around a meal shared in community, but with knowledge that it was Jesus' last with his friends. Today's Good Friday, somber tones contemplating Christ's arms of love outstretched on the hardwood of the cross. Tomorrow's Holy Saturday's soul-stirring silence, all orienting toward the great vigil tomorrow night that opens into Easter light. There is hope today, even today, on this Friday we dare call good. The Paschal mystery makes no sense without this 3-day passage taken together. Christ in community, Christ on the cross, Christ arising from the tomb. They are of a cloth. Can we see it as one liturgical journey? Tomorrow night, by the light of handheld candles, we will baptize 7 persons in this cathedral: Kenneth, Colton, Kia, Adrian, Emily, Lana, and Jessica. That we baptize at the Easter Vigil while still in the dark, but with our candles lit in paschal hope for the turn yet to come, helps us remember that we are baptized into the death of Jesus and arise from the waters into new life. Baptism is a both-and proposition. The vows that those 7 will take include 3 renunciations, followed by 3 affirmations orienting to Jesus. This threefold pattern of vow-taking at baptism stretches all the way back to the earliest days of the Church. The renunciations are believed to have their origin in the ancient Good Friday liturgy, the derivative of which we continue to engage here in modernity, here tonight. The biddings and solemn collects we will pray in just a few moments offer a litany of ways we fall short of God's vision for humanity while prayerfully striving for God's justice and peace to break into our broken lives. The baptismal renunciations are a distillation of this Good Friday litany that speaks of that brokenness in raw, unsettling terms as manifestations of evil. These are the 3 baptismal renunciations. Do you renounce the forces of evil that rebel against God? Do you renounce the evil powers of this world which corrupt and destroy the creatures of God? Do you renounce all sinful desires that draw you from the love of God? On this Good Friday, when all is not right with the world, can we see this threefold pattern of these renunciations in the shadowy haunts of evil that had its way with Jesus that day, that has its way with our institutions that were created to serve for good but have been corrupted, that has its way with us too, with all of us? I know we don't like to talk much about evil, but there's no avoiding it today if we are going to be honest. Evil corrupts and destroys spiritually, institutionally, individually. Pilate, in his world of alternative facts and horrific violence, yearns to know what is truth. Peter, in his collapsing world of fear, denies Jesus and his own true self before the cock can awaken to the dawn of a new world. The soldiers mock and maim Jesus for sport. And we are in the crowd crying, "Crucify him, crucify him." This is a day of complicit brokenness. And yet, Jesus chooses to speak truth and love into the mix, inviting us to orient that way as well. Yes, evil had its way with Jesus that day. Yes, evil has its way with us still. There is no them there. This is our story. This is the human story. And we tell it in its entirety today, as difficult as that is, because evil lurks and lingers where our anxieties and our prejudices and our powers convince us that violence is the way. And Jesus hangs on the cross and says, "It is not the way." It takes great courage to hold the tense contractures of Good Friday on the Triduum journey, which is why we continue orienting to those ancient Good Friday biddings and collects. We believe this is the oldest part of the Christian tradition we have, all the way back to the first century. While they are not exhaustive, they are comprehensive in scope, acknowledging the brokenness of our common humanity, but also laying claim to the promise that God's love is universal, encompassing all humanity. No one, friends, is beyond the reach of Christ's arms of outstretched love on the cross. No one is irredeemable in God's grand design. And folks, divine goodness is not finished with us yet. In ancient wisdom, each collect is preceded by appeals made to you tonight, chanted so as to resonate with your soul. First, let us kneel in silent prayer. Silent prayer for a time to hold the cruciform life of Christ before us, to hold the suffering you've experienced in this life, to hold the suffering you've caused in this life, to hold what you can of it in this moment, trusting that Christ holds it with you. And then the second appeal comes. Arise. A 3-syllable chant to arise, a foreshadowing of things to come, and turn into those affirmations of divine embrace and eternal love. We bear witness today, in the midst of all this, that God is acting in ways that we cannot fully imagine just yet. We come today amidst Good Friday's somber tones, contemplating Jesus, arms of love outstretched on that hardwood of the cross, and then arise in trust that Jesus came and lived among us as kin and companion, as Christ for all, refusing to let evil and violence have the final word. The story is not finished on this day we dare call good, nor is our liturgical work on this Triduum journey of life. God is not finished with us yet. So let us press on orienting toward the great vigil that opens into Easter light. Together, we will find our way.